In Japan, there is a word for death by overwork, karoshi. It's not just a slang term, it's a legally recognized cause of death. It's a word that tells a story of immense pressure, of sleepless nights, and of a dedication to a company that can, quite literally, kill you. For decades, the world has looked at Japanese work culture with a mixture of awe and horror. We see images of salarymen marching in identical suits, of marathon meetings, and of an almost unbelievable commitment to their jobs. It's portrayed as a machine that demands everything and leaves little room for a personal life. But is that the full story? Is this intense system simply a brutal reality, a relic of a bygone era? Or is it a misunderstood engine of genius that has powered one of the world's most advanced economies? And most importantly, is it starting to change? Today, we go inside Japan's extreme work culture. We will separate the truth from the myths and look at what the future holds for the Japanese workplace. To understand the Japan of today, you have to understand the foundations built yesterday. The modern Japanese work ethic wasn't born in a vacuum. It was forged in the ashes of World War II, when the entire nation poured its energy into rebuilding. During this period, the company became more than just a place to work. It became the center of a person's life, a source of stability, identity, and community. Three core pillars were built that still support the system to this day. The first pillar is the idea of lifetime employment. In the big, traditional companies, when you were hired out of university, you were hired for life. The company was like a family. It would take care of you, provide benefits, and guarantee your job until retirement. In return, you would give the company your unwavering loyalty and dedication. Quitting was rare and often seen as a betrayal. The second pillar is the seniority system. Your rank, your salary, and your responsibilities were determined not just by your skill, but by your age and the number of years you had been with the company. This created a very clear, rigid hierarchy. You respected your elders and superiors, you learned from them, and you waited patiently for your turn to climb the ladder. This system values experience and loyalty over short-term, flashy results. The third, and perhaps most important pillar, is the concept of wa, which means group harmony. In the West, individualism is often celebrated. The star employee, the brilliant maverick. In Japan, the group comes first. The goal is to build consensus, to make sure everyone is on the same page, and to avoid direct conflict. This is why Japanese meetings can seem so long. It's not about one person making a quick decision, it's about the entire team slowly moving towards a unified agreement. Your personal opinion is less important than the harmony of the team. These three pillars, lifetime loyalty, seniority, and group harmony, created an incredibly stable and powerful workforce that rebuilt Japan into an economic superpower. But they also created the conditions for the extreme work culture we see today. So, what does this system actually look like for the average worker today? This is where we get into the brutal realities. The most famous aspect is, of course, the long working hours. The official workday might be 9 to 5, but for many, that's just a suggestion. There's a powerful unspoken pressure to stay until your boss leaves. Leaving on time can be seen as a sign that you aren't dedicated or that you don't have enough work to do. Much of this extra time is called service overtime and paid work that you do out of a sense of duty to the team. And it's not just working at your desk. A crucial part of the culture is the namakai, or drinking party with your colleagues. These aren't just casual get-togethers. They are an unofficial, but often mandatory extension of the workday. It's where team bonding happens, where you can speak more freely with your boss, and where your commitment to the group is tested. Saying no to a namakai can damage your relationships and career prospects. This intense combination of long hours at the desk and late nights out with colleagues creates a huge strain on work-life balance. Japan has a notoriously low rate of employees who actually use their full paid vacation days. There's a feeling of guilt, a sense that taking a day off is letting down the team. And this brings us back to karoshi. When the pressure becomes relentless, when 100-hour overtime months become the norm, the human body and mind can break. Karoshi can be a heart attack or a stroke brought on by extreme stress and exhaustion, or it can be a mental health crisis leading to suicide. The fact that the government had to pass laws to officially recognize this and try to prevent it shows just how serious the problem became. Now, if you stopped here, you would have a very dark, but incomplete, picture. The story is more complicated, and this is where we need to look at the common myths. The first myth is that every single worker in Japan is miserable and exploited. For many, especially in older generations, the traditional system provides a profound sense of identity, stability, and purpose. The company isn't just an employer, it's a tribe. The camaraderie built through working and struggling together is real. The pride in a company's success is deeply felt. The security of knowing you have a job for life is something many people around the world can only dream of. The second myth is that long hours automatically mean low productivity. It's true that some time is lost to inefficient meetings. But the culture also fosters an incredible attention to detail, a relentless focus on quality control, and a systematic approach to problem solving. The Japanese principle of Kaizen, or continuous improvement, was born from this environment. It's a system designed to produce near-perfect products, not just to finish tasks quickly. The third, and most important myth, is that this work culture is the same everywhere in Japan. This is simply not true anymore. The experience of working at a giant, old-school corporation like Mitsubishi is completely different from working at a modern tech startup in Shibuya. It's also completely different from working at a foreign company like Google in their Tokyo office. These newer companies are often results-oriented, they offer flexible schedules, and they actively reject the old rules of seniority and lifetime employment. So, the extreme work culture is real, but it's not the only reality. It exists on a spectrum, and where you fall on that spectrum depends heavily on your age, your industry, and the type of company you work for. And that brings us to the future. Because right now, Japan is in the middle of a quiet revolution. The old pillars are starting to crack under the pressure of a new generation and new economic realities. The biggest driver of change is demographics. Japan has a shrinking and aging population. The old model of a massive, loyal workforce is no longer sustainable. Companies are now competing for young talent, and young Japanese workers have a completely different set of priorities. And like their parents, who valued stability above all, many in the younger generation value their personal time, their hobbies, and their work-life balance. They are more likely to change jobs to find a better opportunity. They are less willing to participate in mandatory drinking parties or work unpaid overtime. They are digital natives who see the potential for remote work and more flexible arrangements. The Japanese government is also pushing for change. They've launched initiatives like Premium Friday, encouraging companies to let workers leave early once a month. They have also passed laws that put a cap on overtime hours, forcing companies to confront the issue head-on. The rise of the startup scene is also a huge factor. These new companies are agile, innovative, and they have to attract talent by offering a better culture. They are proving that you can be successful without forcing your employees to work 16-hour days. This doesn't mean the old culture will vanish overnight. The transformation is slow and sometimes painful. But the shift is undeniable. The future of Japanese work is likely to be a mix of the traditional values of dedication and quality, combined with a modern demand for flexibility, efficiency, and a real work-life balance. So, is Japanese work culture a brutal reality or a misunderstood genius? The truth is, it's both. It's a complex, deeply rooted system that built an economic miracle, but at a significant human cost. It is a culture of incredible dedication and also of immense pressure. But it is not a story that is finished. As Japan continues to innovate, not just in technology, but in how it thinks about life and work, the world will be watching. And the evolution of its unique work culture might just hold lessons for all of us as we try to find our own balance between dedication and well-being.